How much easier this is. My house smells of rich mahogany. I don't know what that is. This wall, how does this interact with the staircase? Okay, so, does this light turn on? Probably not. Oh, there's no light in this basement stairwell. Oh my gosh. Oh, wouldn't you guys have centered that? Yeah, I would have too. Okay, and I went, oh wait, this is the back of that closet, and it's on an angle, you know, for headroom. And I went, what's going on back here? So here's that joist, but then look up here. So that wall is sitting, it's like cantilevering out here. So I want to take advantage of everything that is going to carry that header. I want it on this joist, not where that wall is. So I know that, you know, I was thinking, oh, you could put some squash blocks in there. Okay, well then those squash blocks are going to be out here in the open. I'm just going to build my wall and my header, king stud, trim stud, all that stuff over top of these joists. I'm going to eliminate all of this framing. None of these wires are hot. I'm just going to pull them out, and then I'm going to have a king stud and a trim stud right here. This is the UP. This is Northern Michigan. This is the Upper Peninsula, and this is on the Indian River up here in Manistee. It's the middle of February. It is cold, man. It is cold. Enough of that weather report. Let's get down to the brass tacks here. This is a mural. I guess it's like a local famous artist or something that did this mural. They did it on this this wall too, but then this one, honestly, I've had a chance to look at it and it's ugly. I mean, it's really bad. Like, stuff just doesn't make sense. Like, what's that stupid little bridge doing there? You know, and this huge fence, the proportions are off. There's like, what are those gigantic flower trees? This one didn't turn out so well, so they covered it with mirrors, like 1 foot square beveled edge mirrors. And but that's when this was done, 1957. Kind of cool. This one turned out a lot better, and I hate to cover it up, but I guess we're gonna cover it up. This is, I believe, I mean, there's so many wood species, right? You know, when you keep seeing the same one over and over again, you work with it and stuff, you start to be able to identify it. So I believe that this is African mahogany, and that's a plywood up there. So they're just like, I don't know, 18-inch squares. And this is Honduras mahogany, and that's solid mahogany. It's 3/8 of an inch thick, tongue and groove. And so it's all going away, and it's throughout the entire house. I mean, it's just like down the hallway, all throughout the kitchen. We've been stacking it up. We're trying to see if maybe it's got some value and you can sell it, because it's you can no longer trade it. You know, they stopped the forestry practices down there in Honduras. We are going to, since this is an amazing view, am I right? Oh my gosh. I mean, not through this camera or on this video, but there's nobody across the river at this point. There's a dam and a bridge down there, and it is really cool to just sit here and enjoy your coffee. And the only problem with that is that archway is not big enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this closet. That corner, we're basically just going to push this wall back, just eliminate that closet, and then blow through the opening. And we're gonna put up little land beams up in here. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. We're gonna reconstruct this a little bit, because we're gonna move this over. And you know, I'm not a framer guy. I've gotten into framing. And I've worked on a couple of crews. I've worked with a couple of really talented guys. I mean, I'm a licensed builder, and I know right from wrong for the most part, and I try to stay in my lane. But I know that this downstairs is not resting on anything that's resting on the beam. It's not resting on a joist. It's not transferring the load. So I'm gonna move that over so that it is. I know you can put squash blocks under there, in between the bottom of that and the beam. I'm not gonna do that. I want that over this, and the customer wants this to be, a little bit smaller to increase this. And that's the whole purpose, to make this quite a bit bigger. And that's a popular thing these days, and it's not that complicated to do. I mean, choose wisely. This is a cold air return in here. If there was a heat supply and, some other aspects, that's just a thermostat. My buddy didn't realize that that we were gonna alter this wall, so that wire's gotta go somewhere else. It's for a switch. We're gonna try our hand at removing what we need to on this wall, get rid of the mahogany, stack it up somewhere, sell it on the street, trade it for beer money. I don't know. Start removing all of the framing members. This is just a one-story house with a basement. There's not too much of a load, but when it comes to an archway, I'm not just gonna put this will end up being about 114 inches, the opening. It's not that big of a deal. You could probably get away with a 2x12, but I like land beams. In my own shop, I open up an area and I noticed that it does sag a little bit with two 2x12s sandwiching a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. It does sag, and I just trust land beams, LVLs, a little bit more. They're just stronger. It's Friday night. I've had, I don't know, 3 or 4 phone calls today. Like, hey, Scotty, let's get caught up. Punch out. I always keep track of my time. I don't charge by the hour unless I have to something. But I definitely keep track of my time so I know what all is involved. And then when I use my hours tracker, whenever I punch in, it says what time I punched in, punched out, break time. If I, all of a sudden the neighbor, he wants to talk to me, or whatever the issue is. If I get a phone call, first thing, I go my hours tracker, hit break time. And then if I, I forgot to, end my break, it's gonna be within the hour, right? Not a big deal. I try to stay accurate with it. I think at first, I wasn't that good at it, but then when I go back and I try to what was I doing on that day? I try every day to make a daily log in my calendar, what I did. I put that up against what I had planned to do. So I would what I plan to do, here's my schedule. And then I start out that day with here's what actually happened. So it gives me an idea how accurate I can be, and then I can reference, I can just cross-reference stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can see outside, it's dark out. It's 10:15 at night, and I'm just, I'm here alone, so just keep working until you get tired of working, I guess. So here's a little recap. I wanted to put a temporary wall. I'm leaving myself enough room in here to work. This ceiling's not gonna come down on my head unless all 4 of these things snap, which they're not likely to do. This is a 1-story home. It's framed pretty darn good. So I'm not worried about, too much. The ceiling, since I took this header out, the ceiling can sag slightly. So we know on my laser on the floor there, I put a little note off the line, and I made sure that my laser is in an area where I can replace it, and it should be, if not exact, pretty darn close. So 52 7/8. Oh, it hasn't sagged at all. I'm not surprised. You can see how much weight is on here. If you don't care and you're not trying to save this piece of lumber, when you cut this with a Sawzall and you go through here, if it binds up and all of a sudden it's rattling, that means there's a lot of weight transferring down. That load is transferring down. If it pinches your blade when you cut through there with a Sawzall, I'm constantly monitoring those things. That's just one little trick, and it's actually a pretty important trick. Look at this, this is a floater now. Pretty excited. Whenever I'm putting a header in like this, like an LVL, they're heavy. I use a drywall lift, and I'm gonna film it this time. I've never filmed it, so you guys will be able to see what that looks like. Hopefully it goes good. So as per usual, I'm doing stuff that I don't do all day, every day. A little nervous, Just want to get my ducks in a row. So I just take my time and try to do a good job. But so I cut the bottoms of these off. I cut the wires off that were unnecessarily left there by the stupid electrician. Oh my God. He's gonna unsubscribe. So I'm gonna pull these out. I gotta grind those nails off and then put this first one into place and stick my my jack studs in there. Not trim studs, they're jack studs or trim studs, or so many terms. This one's in there pretty good. Listen, I cut the nails off. Okay, so I decided to just take this header all the way up because I know that this material is straight. I always knew that there was a bow in the ceiling. I want to see if I can kind of take some of that out. It's about a 1/4 inch bow, you know, and it was that way on the laser too. I want to see if I can't flatten it out a little bit, you know. See all that weight is here now. You know, and it's funny because you tear so much stuff out and you know it's not coming down at you, but it's still, I mean, for me anyway, it's still just a little nerve-wracking, right? Let's grind these nails off real quick, or at a medium pace. You know, it's funny. I thought I was like the only one. You know, I'm like, I got these special tricks using a drywall lift. You know, and I follow guys on YouTube, just like you guys do. And I watched this guy the other day, and he had like one of these, I don't know, it was a bigger lift, and doing the same exact thing. I'm like, oh. It's just that I thought it was kind of cool because, to be honest with you, I've done this maybe 15 or 20 times with other guys, you know, they're like the lead dudes, and we never used the lift. It was just me and that other dude trying to lift stuff into place. By the way, I cut these one at a time just in case I'm inaccurate, which would be weird. But if I was inaccurate, I'd only have to buy one more, not two more. So smart. Anyway, it was always like me and like one, maybe two other guys lifting like a 20-foot beam into place, and you're like, get a lift. It's like, it costs what, $100 a day? You could eliminate like, well, everyone that I have working on my crew today, well, whoever would be more than that, eliminate all those guys and just get a lift. Look at how light this is. Oh my God. It's so light, man. I mean, it's, you know, they are available. They do make it easier. Wow, do they make it easier? How much easier this is. Jeez. See how much easier that is than lifting it like by your little lonesome or with three other people? So stupid. I mean, literally, I just want to go back, and the guys that I've done this with without a lift, I just want to go back and smack them. Like, dude, why didn't we do it like this? Oh, you know, those things are so expensive. How much is labor and an injury or, you know, whatever? It's so much easier that way. Oh my God. Probably just fasten one side. Probably just fasten this side here. I got so many tricks. Everyone knows this trick though. Everybody knows it. No reason to act like you something. You just little wee Scotty karate. I'll probably need this. I need one more hand, please. This is why you have another guy. You know, you could pre-drill that first. Yeah, why wouldn't you? I don't need this gun now. Tight, like a tiger. But then, see, don't like that. Closing that gap out. That's good. Before I put too much pressure on it, I want to kind of straighten it out a little bit as I go. It's not quite flush with the other side. Just about close that gap up. That actually wasn't that hard. Wasn't that hard to do? It's awesome. She's gonna love this. Very nice, I like. All right, it's flush on this side with the top plate, which is awesome. I like it. I need a third hand. I have what we call a coordination buildup. Beautiful. That is good. I like it. You know, because when I bring in the next one, I gotta like kind of put it in there, right? Against this other one. Hopefully they're the same exact width so it can go between the top of this and the bottom of that. Now over there, I didn't put this piece in yet because I don't want to fight putting that in. I don't want to fight. So I'm gonna try to, I mean, it's up there. It can't go really anywhere. Maybe what I do is, I don't know, does this fit here? I can just push it over. I can push it over when I get that in place. If I'm gonna fight the second one, it'll just be on that side, not that side and the top and everything, right? I gotta push those wires up. I gotta double check to make sure I don't have a bunch of obstructions and things in my obstacles. You know, it's like traffic. People in my way, people driving at different speeds than I wanna drive. And of course, they're the dum-dums. Why would you drive at that speed? Well, love it. I'm gonna run one screw up there, toenail it to the plate. Just, you know, when I lower this down, that's my helper, and I'm taking him out of the equation. I know I'm overdoing it. Just the craziest things can happen when you're working alone. And right now, my interest in getting some sort of an injury because I knocked the header out and I fell and hit the floor and then I knocked my tooth out or something. I'm just not interested in that program right now at all. Beautiful. All right. So one more at 116 and a half. Let's see what happens when we drop this. Beautiful. All right. It worked exactly how I wanted it to. Love that. It is, gosh, it's late. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. And I've been busting my butt. Oh my gosh, my hands, like all through my wrists and forearms, they are just on fire. I was able to, you know, you guys were here. I got the header in. It's nailed off both sides, screwed off both sides. I went around with a nailer and just pounded the nails to it. And then this whole thing is gonna get like a grid, and which is kind of cool. It's gonna be a metal grid. My buddy is making it on his CNC machine because his laser engraver, I don't know. He cuts metal. And so we're gonna make a screen there, and then, but there's gonna be a cold air return underneath it. Well, I don't really like the idea that you're gonna see light through here, which is awesome, but I don't wanna see light through the base molding, right, from the other side. So when I build this plate across here, I'm also gonna put a divider, like a 3/4 inch divider that hangs down. So, and then I wanna spray paint it black. Yeah, I know that's, dude, I know that's anal retentive, but these are the things that keep me up at night. We're done here. Now, I don't know, somebody's gotta remove all of this soffit. Of course, this truckload of mahogany is in my way, these doors are in my way, my tools are in the way. So I don't know if I'm doing that, if somebody else is doing it, but I know what I did today, and it was badassery. I just put the stomp down on it. It was a lot of work, it was a lot of cleanup. That's this part of this project, and we're still in the episode mode for this project where I'm just bringing in store-bought cabinetry that you can customize yourself. And so far, up till now, we're going to outfit Menards Clearview cabinetry. We're gonna put our own hardware in it, use some of their hardware, use their boxes, and I'm gonna outfit it all in walnut and see if it's a savings, see if it's makes things easier, makes things quicker. And that's the objective here in Upper Peninsula, up in Narnia. All right, stay safe, stay busy. That's a wrap.
Stay tuned for episode 7 when we talk a little bit about things not associated to sawdust. Luckily, it's going to be a real short video.